In this video we're going to take a look at another web challenge from the DefCamp capture the flag competition. This challenge is called Paracode, and the description says, I do not think that the API needs any sort of security testing as it only executes and retrieves the output of ID and PS commands. So we've got a web server to connect to. You can take a copy of this address. There is a note to say the challenge is going to restart, so this might happen in the middle of trying to solve it, but let's take a look anyway. Okay, so let's take a look at this PHP script that we have here. The first thing we can see is it's going to require this flag.php. It's going to check to see if we've supplied a get parameter called start, and if we haven't, then it's going to show the source code of the file, which is what we're seeing right now because we haven't supplied that parameter. It's then got this blacklist array where you can see a lot of different two-letter words in there, two-letter strings, and it's going to loop through each one of these strings and make sure that whatever we've supplied as a get parameter, as that start value, does not contain any of these words. If it comes across one of these words which it does contain, it's going to set valid to false, it's going to break that loop, and it's going to just show us the code of the file again. Providing we don't trip off this filter, so providing our input doesn't have any one of these strings in it, we're then going to get down to this bit which says, we've got a comment here, it says it'll only return the output for ID and PS, and you can see here it's checking to make sure the length of the string that we provide is less than 5 characters. If it is, it's going to execute that, so it's going to give us a shell command that we can execute. Otherwise, if it's too long, it's just going to say, please enter a valid command. And I'm not sure what this is about here. I guess I kind of just assumed this was a troll, because if false is always going to be false, so it's never going to echo this. So first of all, let's try this with the intended behavior. Let's supply a get parameter called start, and we'll enter in as that parameter ID, and we get back the ID. So because the ID string wasn't found in this blacklist, and because it was less than 5 characters, it executed the command and it gave us the output. Now if we try that again for PS, we actually don't get anything back. It just shows us the source code again. And if we search for PS, we'll see that the reason is it's actually blacklisted. So you could try some other things. Maybe we would try in capital letters, we don't get any output. But we should know that if we go to our terminal and try that as well, we won't get any output in the terminal. So we could have a look to see if there are any tricks that we can use to bypass this filter. And there probably is. Let's have a look for hack tricks, PHP tricks. We could open this up. There's probably also a hack tricks bypass bash restrictions. These two links would probably be worth us looking through to see what we can do here, so we can see that in terms of how PHP converts different values, we might be able to manipulate the filter. Arrays as well. So one of the things that I was thinking here, which I've seen in other challenges, is the length check is less than 5, but you can supply values as an array in PHP, and I thought maybe this would allow us to enter in a longer command. Let me try one that's not blocked. So actually we see that it doesn't trip off this length check, but it doesn't bring us any output either, and the reason being it just doesn't process this at all if we supply it as an array. So if we try and enter too many Bs, we get please enter a valid command because the command's too long. If we were to do 5 Bs, that's still too long, but if we do 4, that's fine, but again we don't get any output. Let's go back and see what else we can do. So let's take a look and see what we could use to bypass some of these restrictions. This PS one, for example, which we're not able to run at the moment. If we go and have a look at this bypass bash restrictions, we'll see that we have some different tricks that we can use here. So for example, the quotes. And we can go and test these in our terminal. Let's try and do ls, and you see that that works. So we could go back and do the same. Let's try and put some quotes around the P or around the S, it doesn't matter. And you'll see that we do get the processes this time. The problem is we're now using all 4 characters that were allowed. So there are some other tricks here as well. We can use a slash in between. Let's try that as well. Let's do l/s. That doesn't work here. Okay, it's backslash. So let's try that. l/s. And that does list the files, but we're now using 3 out of the 4 allowed characters. So we can basically go through and try different values. Cat, I think, does work, but if we were to use our space and then try to print it, that's not going to work because we're now using 5 characters. So potentially I was thinking that there would be some way to bypass this length check as well, but after getting a hint on this, I was told that we need to focus on finding a command or a binary in Linux that isn't blacklisted in this array, that we can use to print the file. So I started looking for 2-letter Linux commands. Let's have a look. 2-letter Linux binaries. Try and see if I can find the same list that I came across here. I dare say Google will give it me straight away, unlike DuckDuckGo. Yep. So this was the article I came across, and I went through and started trying some of these. Some of them look particularly interesting, so let's see what we have here. We've got OD, dump files in octal and other formats. We also have HD, which will do hex. So if we were trying that, let's do OD. You can see that will print that in octal. So if we were able to do that, we could go ahead and convert that back into ASCII. And the same potentially for, oh, not OH, for HD. So we could try those, and I went through and actually tried most of these, but let's go back and try one of them. We run that, we don't get anything. We need to have a look at the source code as well. We can try again OD, but OD is actually blocked, so we would need to put that backslash in the middle, and we do that and we're entering too many characters. So I went through all of these, and in fact the answer is in this list, but it didn't give me the flag whenever I tried it. I'm assuming that at the time I wasn't checking the source code, and maybe that's the issue. But some other interesting ones, we can look at env as well, and it actually prints out all the environment variables. I guess probably a good way to do this would have been to go through the list of all the 2-letter Linux binary names, all the Linux commands, and loop through this list of blacklisted characters and see what's not in this list, and that would have given us some of the possibilities. It turns out that the solution was M4, which is the macro processor. Let's have a look. M4 processes macros in files, and if we try this locally, again let's do the same as we just did, M4, and you can see that it's printed that out. So let's try that on the web server. M4, and we want to do obviously space, URL encoded to a plus, and then asterisk or star to show everything. Now, I did try this, and this is what I saw at the time, but if we go and have a look at the source code, this time we'll see that it actually has the flag in the source. Another possible way we could have done that would have been to, let's get all of the 2-letter commands. So we can do compgen-cx, and we can do exclamation mark question mark to get all of the 1-letter commands. We can do 2 question marks to get all of the 2-letter commands. And you see M4 was in there in that list. So we could take a copy of, actually there's quite a lot here, there might be some duplicates. We could take a copy of these, put them into a text file, and we'll remove duplicates. Let's do sort-u and take in the words, and then we'll do unique words, send it to unique words. Okay, still got quite a few there, but let's open that up in Sublime. Okay, we've got 66 to go through, so potentially you could go and again take out some of these commands so that they're not in this list. I'm just going to take this list, and what we could have done here would have been to take this to burp intruder or some command line fuzzing tool, and let's do view source again. Let's go to our burp intruder. We'd go and set our position to this M4 and just add the, I don't know what these characters are called, but add those around that, and then we can paste in this list of the 2-letter commands and go start attack. And we could essentially just go through here and try to have a look at the responses each time and see what we have. You can see as we get down to DD, we get a longer response. That's because those commands aren't allowed. Same with DU. Most of these commands are allowed but aren't doing anything. And eventually we'll get down to the M4, which will hopefully give us the flag. Burp Suite starts to get very slow if you don't have Burp Pro and you're doing this brute forcing. Let me change the order of that so it's starting from the top. M4. Okay, so M4 came back. It was the length 1830. So we can select that, have a look at the response, and we've got our flag. And that's been the Paracode challenge. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have any questions or comments, you solve this one differently, let me know.